Hello YouTube and welcome back to another video. Hope you're all well. Hope you're all having a good Christmas and looking forward to the new year. Has been a while since my last video. I mean, I did do one a few days ago, me and the family walking around town filming the Christmas lights. But other than that, I've not really done much. It's been, what, 2-3 months since my last video? Just basically took a break from YouTube, as you do. I just wasn't feeling it for making any videos. And you get those moments or phases where you go through, you don't feel like doing anything at all, and for me, making YouTube videos was one of them. But I'm still around. Hello, still around and watching your videos and commenting as much as I can, and if not, I do put a like on your video. So that's basically it, really, and I do have a pickup video coming up shortly. The items that I've been getting for Christmas and before. Not really been buying anything at all, just saving up, really. Planning to go to Blackpool next year. It's been announced. Apparently it's going to be an expo rather than a replay. Daughter again wants to come along, so it's all saving up for that, really. But I thought I'd show you guys anyway the items that I've been getting. And yeah, so for this video I thought I'd do a one of Novabug's Friday Foursome. It's his last one for the end of the year, and he's picked a really good one. Your 4 childhood gifts. Could be any time of the year, Christmas, Easter, birthdays, a random gift. But seeing we're still in Christmas, I thought I'd keep it to the theme, and it'll be my four childhood Christmas gifts. They're all gaming related, well, apart from one. And yeah, I think that's basically it, really. I think I've only done in the past 2 of his Friday Foursomes, and even then I did it in one video. That was the I think that was the 4 favourite game controllers and 4 cherished games. Other than that, not done one since, and he's picked a really good one for the end of the year, and I thought I'd give it a go. And as I said, they're all game related except for one, so I thought I'd go straight into the first one. They're not in any particular order, except for going, if you're going by the year, if that makes any sense. So yeah, so the first one, it's Christmas '82, and I'll put a little advert of the toy itself, and then I'll quickly talk about it. So yeah, here's the advert.
This is Big Track, the computer-activated truck from MB Electronics. Program in up to 16 commands, and Big Track will advance, turn, and fire 3 blasts. Big Track follows its instructions and can maneuver around every obstacle to complete its mission. Program it, and Big Track obeys.
Well done, Big Track.
Big Track from MB Electronics.
Yes, that was Big Tracks. Love that toy to bits. Begged my parents to get me one back in Christmas '82, and obviously they got me one. I played with it right through Christmas, well into the new year, even took it to school. Teachers were so amazed by it as well. I was the only kid in school to get one. Remember in the library, we were sort of punching numbers to sort of go the distance. I mean, if you saw in the advert, you had to punch in the numbers. That would determine the distance of how far it would go, turn, fire, and turn round. We could never get it right. As hard as we tried, never get it right. You'd always end up banging against the wall or a chair or whatnot. But it didn't bother me at all. I just love that toy to bits. What happened to my one? Well, of course, over time, the things started falling apart, losing wheels. The battery flat sort of lost that disappeared. Stickers were peeling off. I think the bulb to the light where it fires, that disappeared as well. So I remember taking it to school with me, and along the way there was a canal. Don't know why. Don't ask. I don't know what made me do it. I threw it in, and that was it. That was the end of it. Don't know why I did it. So it's probably there to this day, doing a Titanic thing. Who knows? But I would love to get one back into the collection. Now there was 2 variations, colour variations. The US was grey, and Euro, well, the UK for me anyway, was white. I guess with the US they were going towards more the G.I. Joe military theme, while the UK version, it was white, futuristic, heading more towards the sci-fi. I remember Space 1999 was on at the time, because this was released the toy was actually released in '79 by MB Games and B. Milton Bradley. I don't think they were no longer around. So I guess they were heading that sort of direction. You saw the trailer there. I would love to get that trailer. Never did though. It has since been re-released by a company called Xeon Tech in the UK back in 2010. There's two versions. There's the full-size original model, and also there's a junior model. Well, these ones you can attach rocket launchers and cameras and whatnot, and you can download an app onto your smartphone and can control it from there. And last year, 2014, I think they re-released a Model 2, again full-size model, a lot meaner. The controls are where the numeric pad is. It's covered up. It has an onboard camera. It actually talks as well. Goes for about £70. I would love to get one. So yeah, big tracks. Good memories though with the original though. I'll put pictures of the new one for you to have a look. Right then, on to Christmas 83, and by then I wanted a computer. The Spectrum and the Commodore 64 were around, but unfortunately my parents couldn't really afford one, so they asked if there was anything else that I wanted, so I chose this. It's a tabletop game, handheld, and it's without doubt my favourite of all time. Love this to bits, and I'll show you that in a bit. But I couldn't really go without showing you the first tabletop game that I got back in, oh god, Apollo, must you? Come here. Sorry about that. Without showing you the tabletop game that I got back in Christmas 81. So, cheating a little bit, 2-1, if that's allowed. And the game in question is, don't drop it, Grandstand's Astro Wars. I love this game to bits. Played it all through Christmas, well into the new year. Took it to school loads of times, as you do back in the day. Got in trouble for it loads of times too. And my friend got the CGL's Galaxy Invaders, is 10,000, the long yellow handheld. So we swapped it a couple times over the weekend, but it's pretty fast. So many memories. Oh, crikey. You're such a plonker, you know that. Hang on a second. Sorry about that. It's the cat. That was Apollo. What was I saying? Yeah. Took it to school loads of times, as you do back in the day. Got in trouble for it on various occasions. But loved it to bits. Fantastic. I don't know if I mentioned it was a scaled down version of Galaxians. Cats put me well off. This isn't my original one. Unfortunately, I don't have any batteries, so I can't show you it running. But there's loads of videos on YouTube of the game in action. Not my original one. The one that I had, the Astro Wars was written in white. What happened to my original one? We used to go down to a seaside resort in Laysdown, called Laysdown, in Sheerness, in the Isle of Sheppey. My brother must have been, this has gone on a bit, must have been 4, 5 or 6, can't really remember. It was we'd go down to the arcade, so it was the first time you'd see these great big arcade cabinets, and because it was really small at the time, so to him they were huge monster things. So when we got home, what did he go and do? He'd go and feed it milk. He poured milk all over it, and hoping and thinking that one day it would grow up to be one huge and massive arcade cabinet, and that was the end of it. But yeah, loads of great memories with this fantastic little game. But as I mentioned before, this one has got to be my all-time favourite, without a doubt, and that is Grandstand's Firefox F7. I love this game to bits. It's basically plays similar to the likes of Astro Wars. Has 5 stages. The enemy fighters remind you very much like the TIE fighters in Star Wars. There's a stage where you're going through the asteroids, very much like the Millennium Falcon going through the asteroids in the Star Wars scene. Yeah, fantastic little game. I don't know if I mentioned The only disappointing thing with the Astro was it didn't have a sound control, so you couldn't really play it till late in the evening when taking it to bed without your parents nagging you to put it away because they could hear it in the next room. So also I asked for this for Christmas. Just going on to 83 now. I know I'm off. I'm not making any sense, but you get the idea. I knew I was going to get it. So come Christmas Eve, I could not sleep at all because I just want to get my hands on this. Everyone had gone to bed, so I crept out of my room, grabbed the box from under the tree, back into my room, carefully unwrapped it, took out the game, and played it to my heart's content almost all the night, all through the night. And the best thing about it, you could turn the sound off, so no one would hear a thing. I think I clocked it 3 or 4 times, because like the Astros, I think once it gets to 99, score 99, it just, as it's game over, you have to turn it off and turn it back on to play it all over again. Great memories, love this game, and of course when I'd finished with it, placed it back in its box, wrapped it up as much as I could as it was, without no one finding out, and placed it back under the tree. Of course, next Monday they knew. They took it off me for a couple of, I think an hour, half an hour to an hour, sort of punished me for it, but in the end they just gave it to me. Love this, of course. Right through Christmas, New Year, take it to school, played it loads at school, and I still play it today. Love it. I'd love to get another one boxed, just place it up there and just leave it there, and just got this one to play with. But definitely my favourite tabletop handheld game of all time, and that is number 2. Right then, on to Christmas 84 for number 3. Going to be quick with this because it's a bit of a story. Don't want to waffle on too long on it. I was still asking my parents for a computer for Christmas, pleading and begging them to get me a computer. And my mother had an account with Littlewoods. Now, anyone in the UK might remember they used to send these thick catalogues through the post where, you know, if there was something that you wanted, you would send off for it and pay on a weekly basis. And this was the first time I'd seen this computer. Now, it also been out, it hadn't been out that long. It was June, July, so it was the first time I'd seen it. Most of my friends had Spectrums. Very few had Commodore 64s. It was mostly Spectrums. And seeing this one for the first time, it just completely different, just amazing. I just really wanted to get this computer. Without waffling on, it was the Amstrad CPC. Yeah, built-in tape deck, keyboard, obviously. 2 versions. There was one with a green monitor and the other with a colour. Obviously, I wanted the colour monitor. It all came bundled. I was gobsmacked about it. I could have this in my room and play it in my room without having to use the television in the living room. I just wanted this computer. And I really thought I was going to get it. But obviously, you know, got the same story from them saying we really can't afford it. So my hopes of getting a computer for Christmas went out the window. Now this was June, July, roughly the same time that the computer came out, Amstrad came out. Now, this is going on September, October. We'd gone to a cousin's house and he had a console that I'd, again, seen for the first time. And it was the ColecoVision. And he had a bundle which included the steering wheel and the modulator to play Atari 2600 games. Now, we had an Atari 2600, the original Woody, that was on loan to us by friends of the family. Eventually we end up having it. I remember him having the modulator to play 2600 games. Now the games that he got for the Coleco, it came packaged, the console came packaged with Donkey Kong, but he also got Donkey Kong Jr., Looping, Smurfs and Ladybug. Now the steering also came packaged with Turbo. Seeing this for the first time, I was blown away by it. You know, having an Atari, it was an amazing arcade graphics. It's amazing. I just had to have one. I kept begging my parents to get me one. I mean, it was cheaper than the computer, right? It had to be. But also that same year, I had a paper round, And every Saturday morning when I finished doing my rounds, I'd stick around the shop and go through some of the magazines for free. Mostly reading the hi-fi magazines, because even back then anything tech I was interested. I remember seeing this magazine for the first time, and it was MSX. And looking through these computers, seeing them for the first time, I was amazed by them. Their design, very futuristic, very different in comparison to the Spectrum and the Commodore, and I dare say the Amstrad. So futuristic, but one computer stood out, mainly because my dad was a fanatic on anything Sony. TV, we had this Sony TV, we had a Sony video recorder, which was a Betamax. We had a video camera by Sony, radios, Walkmans, anything Sony. My dad was fanatic on it. It's a Sony. And so I remember buying the magazine with my pocket money and taking it home and leaving it open on the page, showing the Sony computer, and thought nothing of it. That was it. So mid-December, my parents had gone out, so I'd sneaked into their room and obviously that's where they keep all the presents, and see if I could find anything. And I remember seeing this big box and thinking, my God, what could this be? And then behind it was like two smaller boxes, one about this size and then one about this size. Already my heart was beating, and I was thinking of the ColecoVision already. So I quickly just peeled it off and could just make out the logo of the ColecoVision, and I knew I'd got the ColecoVision. And the other boxes, it just confirmed that I'd got the steering wheel and the modulator. I'd got the same bundle as my cousin. I was right up to Christmas. I just couldn't wait to play this console. I couldn't sleep that night, knowing that I'd gotten the console, and I had to play the pretend game of, didn't know what it was, but it just didn't even matter. Come Christmas morning, opening in the packages, the presents, seeing the Coleco, the steering wheel, the modulator, the games that I got with it. I obviously got the packing games that were Donkey Kong and Turbo, but I also got Donkey Kong Jr. and Ladybug. It really didn't matter. It was like seeing it for the first time again. I was so excited, couldn't wait to get my hands on it. But that wasn't it. My dad had gone to the room and come back with this big box, and I'm thinking, what the hell could this be? I mean, I've got the console, there's no way they're going to get me a computer. So I'm thinking, what could this be? And my dad had given me some blah blah story that Santa Claus had forgotten to drop this off, and he's just dropped it off now. And I think, okay, fine. I opened it up. My eyes fell out when I saw the computer. It was the MSX computer. It was the Sony. So obviously the little trick, leaving the magazine open on the page where showing the Sony worked. I was gobsmacked. It was my best Christmas ever, having the console and the computer at the same time. It has never been topped. Loved it. And what a Christmas. I mean, I actually didn't have any games for the Sony right up until about Easter, when I eventually sold off my Atari 2600 with a couple of other items to get some money to buy two games. The first games that I got was Manic Mine and Hunchback, and with the money left over, I even got a joystick and I think the tape recorder. I think my dad helped to chip in, but it really didn't matter. From Christmas to Easter, I had the ColecoVision. I was so over the moon with it. I was just going to go to my cousin's house and we sort of swap games, and an amazing Christmas that was. So that's Christmas. That's question number 3. Right, then on to my final one, number 4, and this is going to be Christmas 1988. I just started a new job mid-October, so end of November, I thought I'd treat myself to an early Christmas present by buying myself a Sega Master System with 2 games. And those games were Sega, Space Harrier, my favourite arcade game of all time, without a doubt. and Zillion too, because I was very much into manga back then, as I am today. Not only that, because a friend of mine, he bought a Sega Master System a few months back, and he picked up the original Zillion, which was really good. So I figured I'd get the second one. He also got Choplifter. Of course, with him getting a Sega Master System, I just have to have one. So, in November, first wage packet, treat myself to a Sega Master System. Of course, come Christmas, I treated myself to another 2 games. I bought Alex Kidd in Miracle World and the original Wonder Boy. My friend, he'd bought Shinobi and Wonder Boy in Monster World. What a Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, Boxing Day, just playing through these games. I borrowed him Alex Kidd in Miracle World and the original Wonder Boy. He borrowed me Wonder Boy in Monsterland because he wouldn't borrow me Shinobi. He was so into that, he just wouldn't let it go. He played all that game all right through Christmas. Anyway, I'm glad he did, because Wonder Boy became my favourite game of all. Wonder Boy Monsterland became my favourite Sega Master System game of all time. Love that to bits. It brings so many good memories, especially that Christmas. Shinobi became my second favourite game, and then Space Harrier my third. But what a Christmas, without a doubt. Good memories. Never be repeated. But yeah, so those are my 4 childhood Christmas gifts. That was my response to Novabug's Friday Foursome. Hope I haven't waffled on and bored you guys. Head on over to his channel and give it a go yourself. It'd be great to hear some of your stories. And as for me, I've got a pickups video coming up shortly. As I've mentioned earlier on, I've not really bought that much because I am saving up for Blackpool next year. Obviously, with my daughter coming along, it sort of like adds more on the spendage. Because there'll obviously be games there that she'll want to get. Because it's going to be an expo now rather than a replay, so there's bound to be modern stuff there as well that she'll be interested in, because she's pretty much into her RPGs. So yeah, so that was my Friday Foursome video response to. That was my video response to Novabug's Friday Foursome. And that's it really. And hope you guys continue to enjoy the rest of your Christmas and New Year. And as for me, until the next video, bye for now and take care. Before I go, quickly share a story with you guys. After the incident with Apollo earlier on, that door there is now closed. There's a little room back there where I keep all the old computers and consoles. It's normally left open, but it's got to stay closed now. A few nights back, it was opened. I've got a ColecoVision on the floor that I'm working on. But what does Apollo go and do? He goes in there and completely wheezes on it. Complete fountain job. So I spent one night cleaning it up. Still working, thankfully. Regardless of the smell. But in time, I'm sure it will go. But thankfully, it's still working. The Coleco does have its own issues with the reset button, but it is still working. But hence why I've got to keep that door closed now. He's a little terror, as you saw earlier on. There you go. I thought I'd share that story with you guys. So, bye for now. See you soon. Take care.